Hey, what's good, fam? My name is Kirklandd. I am a rapper and songwriter based between Canberra and Sydney, and today I'm linking up with WAEVZ for an episode of In Your Neighbourhood. We're going to be going around to a few different spots in my hometown. We're going to start at the Pool House studio, where I work on all my early demos for my songs, and then we're going to head to Citizen K's studio called The Hive. And this is where I go to lay down all my final vocals for my songs. We're then going to roll around to the Arboretum, where I go occasionally to clear my head and get creative clarity. I hope you enjoy the episode, fam. My name is Kirklandd, and this is Your Neighbourhood for WAEVZ.
See it from a mile, then I'm not. Better when I'm coming with the crop. Forget it, I don't know nobody till I get to know myself. I don't know nobody like. See it from
Welcome to the estate. So yeah, this was my grandfather's house that he moved into and built in the 50s. Last year he got kind of ill, so I moved in with him and just started like kicking it here and looking after him, and then kind of just turned the pool house into a studio. I used to live there when I was a kid as well, way back in the day, and then just kind of decked it out as my own creative space. So this is the main house. This is like everything my grandfather's like collected from Europe from back in the day. He's of Serbian nationality, so a lot of the stuff comes from that heritage. Growing up in Canberra was tight, man. I've been here since I was like 3. I moved down here from Brisbane with my mother to be close to my grandparents when I was a kid. And then yeah, I've been here since, man. Grew up here, went to primary school, high school, and kind of that whole time I was kind of like a private creative. I was writing raps like all the time. I wrote like 4 albums before I was 17, but like no one ever knew about it. I was basically really inspired by my 2 older cousins growing up. So I have 2 cousins named Mutu and Shaka, and these dudes were like my idols. Like they were the coolest guys to me growing up. I've been kind of listening to like a lot of R&B and hip hop, but kind of like very flashy hip hop, like Chingy, Nelly, Yin Yang Twins, Murphy Lee, that kind of vibe. And he gave me Lupe Fiasco's Food and Liquor when I was 12. And that single-handedly showed me what, not rap music could be, what hip hop was. And then he showed me Citizen K on YouTube, and dude had like 50K views on his video. And I was like, I had no idea there were people in Canberra doing this shit, man, like point blank, I had no idea. And then met him about a week later and we started recording together, and everything kind of followed from there. But it was just cool so early on being shown that there were people making real moves in the industry and making true art and not doing it from Sydney or Melbourne. Fresh grapes, big vibe. Free sultanas on the property. Pool, hence the term pool house.
better when I'm coming with the crop. Forget it, I don't know nobody till I get.
So yeah, this is the Pool House studio. So like I said earlier, I moved in here to look after my grandfather last year, but originally when I first moved to Canberra with my mother, we moved here when I was like 3 from Brisbane and moved here to be close to my grandparents. And yeah, we lived here for like, I don't know, 2 years in this little space before we could afford a house. And then fast forward 20 years later, I've like moved back here. I've got like all my like tech, all my posters, films, books, like everything I need to make this feel like my own little creative space. And yeah, I've written all my projects here so far. Like the Love Divide was all written here, all storyboarded, all the ideas came from this space. And to me, it just has like this dope sense of nostalgia and creativity, and I love being in it. So this is the space, this is where magic happens. My mindset was hungry, man. I was very keen to prove that I wanted to take this seriously and to make real music. I never really cared that much about being a dope rapper. I really wanted to make music, and within hip hop, make stuff that hadn't been done before. So everything I made with my producer Cam, who I got in touch with early on from day one, like everything we do to me pushes the boundaries of genre within hip hop. And especially like with the Love Divide EP, what we did there, where we're bringing in like alt pop, pop, R&B, punk undertones as well. Like to me, that stuff isn't really being done as much in hip hop. Illmatic, I mean, that record told me how to flow. Tyler is just a visionary. Everything about his aesthetic, his music just inspires me. And Kids See Ghosts just because, well, shit. Earth, Wind and Fire. So I was raised on funk and soul and blues. My mother raised me on Earth, Wind and Fire, the Doobie Brothers, Joan Armour Trading, artists like that when I was really young. That's how I kind of got into music. And then I played the cello for about 6 years, and that kind of evolved into like songwriting. So it kind of all started with a sense of like instruments and musicality for me, and that's what I try to bring into hip hop with the music I make. Have a good day.
Have a good shoot.
Thank you.
Don't shoot me.
Everything, I'm gonna break my.
But dude, it's a French car, right? And it wants me to enter this code so I can play the radio. Yeah. And fuck, I don't know what the fucking code is, bro.
I'm alive.
Started working with Kay, with Kojo, and we recorded for like a while, and then I was kind of like, yo, what do I do next? What do I need to do? And he's like, you need to find a producer and make original music. So I emailed like the biggest 30 producers in Australia that I could find. Like Seth Sendridge's producer, I found some all day songs, and I think it was Always Know the DJ. And I heard that song and was like, yo, this song is fire, whoever made this, I really want to like get to know. So I emailed his producer, Cam, was like, hey man, I'm rapping from Canberra. I sent him a demo that I think I'd rap to like a Kate Janata Baba Not Good beat. like low-key, very low quality, and Cam responded, was like, man, this is cool, let's try and make something. Cam was like, so what do you want to make? Like, what kind of music do you want to try out? And I was like, oh man, I've never done this before. So I was like, bro, let's bring in like horns and strings and drums and like live DJ cuts. And so Cam's then cutting DJ shit, and we made this song called Right Now, which was my first single. And from there, Cam's been the person to show me like the beauty of making music and not just like jumping on a beat and writing to it.
I don't even know.
Hello?
Wrap this up real quick.
Yeah, it's actually the rest of the interview, guys. We're just going to listen to college stuff and play table tennis. So.
We're almost done.
Yeah, the Love Divide represents, firstly, a very different approach to music for me. So it started from conversations I had with Cam about trying to capture feeling more authentically and deeply, and kind of making all our creative decisions in the process, as well with Kojo, about how to reach that end goal. So I guess the way I started approaching that project was the project's all about a relationship I experienced during isolation and 3 specific moments I had during the course of that relationship. So I chose 3 moments in that experience that, to me, represented very different emotions and feelings and experiences, and I tried to dive as deeply into those as I could through my lyric and melody choices and production choices, and kind of plant you in the heart of those moments. So the process for that was very real, and obviously brought up a lot of emotions for me that I think made that particular project a lot more authentic to who I am and what I've experienced. And that was just a really exciting evolution in my approach to, I think, songwriting and just music in general. Music for me has always been a tool for evolution because I use music to document and process my experiences as they happen. It's like the tool for me to understand lessons and search for meaning in things that happen to me and around me. So for me to unpack with the Love Divide, experiences that were really intimate and personal for me as they were unfolding, it just helped me kind of figure out what they meant and the bigger picture of things, and kind of looking at things from a higher perspective than just what's happening kind of to me in a general level. So it kind of gives me that greater sense of understanding of the alignment of everything as it happens. I'm redefining the sound of the project, man. I'm really looking to figure out what my sound is, what kind of themes and meanings I want to be exploring in the project. Working with the band now and with a producer in Sydney named Taka Perry, who's recently come on board, we've started to craft a very interesting genreless sound that incorporates elements of rock and punk to really define the energy of what we're trying to capture. There are a lot of emotions that I'm trying to unpack and explore, and I'm just trying to strengthen my own abilities to capture that in a live performance energy and in a vocal ability, so that they are authentic and they do resonate. And I think what we're going to do, if it's done right, is something that hasn't been done in Australian music yet, period. I learned some incredible things last year, man. The year that was COVID was insane for me, and I started developing practices of meditation and self-care and investing more deeply in my relationships, and all of that kind of fostered a unique approach to my craft that has become more and more authentic. Wild, dude. Yeah, that bench is down there, that's the spot. And it's just mad beautiful pine forest and shit, it's lovely. If my music's a tool to inspire people to reflect more deeply on their experiences, to strengthen their relationships, to invest more deeply in what they truly enjoy doing, that's all I can really ask for. And I think, hopefully through sharing my experiences, that's something I can achieve. I think this city is on the brink of something truly great. We're starting to realize, who we are as a city. There are so many different styles of artists coming together that have a constant wave of mutual support. There really isn't that sense of competitiveness like you might get interstate. We're really backing each other and constantly cross-collaborating and doing writing camps together and helping out on each other's projects, and it's just super collaborative, man. And I think the energy around collaboration is the most beautiful part about what we do, and the fact that our city is defined by that is dope. So I'm just a fan of Canberra, dude. Alright, so here at the local Vinnies, you can do a quick op shop. And when you op shop, you always want to bring something to give, because that sets the vibes for how you're going to receive. So. Alright, let's hunt. I like the women's section because there's always more patterns and colours. I find the men's section is very bland usually. I don't believe in paying for fits that much. I'll pay something for nice sneakers, but as far as fits, it's cool if you've found something and paid very little for it, I think, as opposed to buying brands, you know what I mean? Form your own identity. I think more connectivity between different scenes, between say Sydney, Canberra, and Melbourne, between the different pockets of each clique in each city, I guess, would be cool to see. And just crossing over genres more, man. I'm mad keen to do songs with June Rats and Skegs in the future. You know what I mean? I want to see that kind of cross-pollination start to occur. I think, particularly for myself, but I think for anyone, I think your own biggest barrier is yourself. Yeah, we touched base on this earlier. I think I have a great ability to overthink shit and get in my own way. And I think just, yeah, setting those intentions and letting things unfold, and just not letting yourself like get in the way of that. I think, yeah, that's my biggest barrier is myself. And then, bro, found my first pair of leather pants ever. Getting a pair of these with like a leather jacket or something, maybe for a show. See how we go. And then just like a nice little brown or black furry top. It's like a nice fit. It's all about the fit, I feel, and the pants in this fit really nicely. It's like low collar vibes, so that's what we went with. But yo, you got the cop of the day. You got the perfect fitted jacket. So we really should flex that real quick. Absolutely. That's the real fun. Fire.
I discovered Moses never made a profit. The journey to the holy years has never